My name is Jay, and you spell it Jai, and I am in Houston, Texas. I'm one of the acts on the Move tour, so that's what I'm here for.
Cool. And how do you describe your sound to people who may not be familiar with it, or you're sitting on an airplane, they ask you, what do you do? How do you talk about it? Because it's different. It's a little bit of hip hop, pop kind of.
Yeah,
mix,
I like to
so.
call it fusion music because
Yeah.
I fuse, into all of the stuff that I love. Like I'm born and raised a Pentecostal girl, so I have those traditional gospel roots. But then if you look like the stuff that I love, like I love Michael Jackson. I love like Madonna. So like you have that like 80s pop. I'm an 80s baby, so you have that 80s pop vibe in there. And then recently, well, in the past 6 years or 7 years or so, being in fellowship with the guys, with the fellas that do the hip hop. Because first I used to think Christian hip hop was super lame, So, but then when I got in fellowship with these guys, it made it a beautiful thing, So it's like a fusion of 80s pop, current pop, gospel, R&B. You'll find all the different flares. Like you'll hear a choir on like 80s music and then featuring a rapper. So it's just like all the music I love, and being that I'm independent, I'm able to do that.
Yeah.
I'm able to like explore and just be like, it's good. This is the music I want to write.
Yeah. Cool. And how did that? You're from St. Louis, and obviously you've got guys like JR and Jason and Thi'sl. How did that all kind of bubble up, and did you kind of come up with them, or how did?
No. Surprisingly, like I said, I was in Church of God in Christ, so I was Pentecostal, so we didn't really listen to too much other than like the Clark sisters or Kim Burrell, like stuff like that. And I was a worship pastor, so like I didn't really listen to too much hip hop. And then of course I thought it was lame, but Thiz was the first one to see me minister, and I always was a little different. I was never like straight up traditional. I was always a little weird, And Thiz was like, that girl's she dope, like I like that girl, And this was back when he was starting Ex-Hustler. I need to get on Ex-Hustler, And then so that's how I got introduced to him. But a year or so before that, I saw the Truth on the Hero tour, and that's when I saw JR for the very first time, even though he was from my city. And I was like, where's this guy from? And they were like, he's from St. Louis. I'm like, what? So I was like, I would love to work with that guy. But then with Thiz told me to meet him at a studio, and Thiz stood me up. And but it was JR's studio, and so that's how I was like, oh, you the dude that was, and so he was like, Thiz ain't coming, he was just laughing at me because Thiz kept standing me up. So in those times of him standing me up, me and JR really built the rapport, and after that I started helping him with Life by Stereo, and so like I sang a lot and helped him with that album, and I started singing backgrounds for him, and simultaneously I was still on my gospel side. I was singing backgrounds for Mary, so I sang with them for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And so, so like it was just the merging of both. Like everything about my life has been merging the worlds and the cultures and the styles. So that's how I ended up doing it. Then Lecrae was like, "Yo, I heard you on JR stuff. I got this strange track," and JR was like, "I think she could do it." And so then that's when we made Live Free. And now after that, then all the guys were like, yo, can you jump on this track real fast? So then it just developed like that.
Yeah. Cool. Do you see any special challenges of being a female on this kind of side of things? Is it different than the gospel and putting this together? Yeah.
Definitely. One thing that I can, everybody's human, everyone has flaws, but one thing that I can say about this side, and I've been on both sides, they really love the Lord, and they really have pure hearts, and yes, we sin, yes, we fall, but the thing about it, like these cats uncover their own sin. Like, dude, who sends out a press release to say, yo, I've sinned, forgive me.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see that on the gospel side. I've seen some corrupt stuff on that side of things. And I'm like, so being with these guys, and a female, they're so they love to protect their integrity, and so a lot of times it almost excludes in a sense, but I respect it because I understand the heart behind it. They don't want their goods evil spoken of, and I surely don't either. I'm married with a kid, so I don't want my goods to be evil spoken of as well. But it's a bit of a challenge as a female to know. And then on top of that, I'm not a rapper, I'm a singer. I'm a singer that just so happens to do a lot of stuff with rappers. So because of that merging and because of that life, it kind of makes it a little difficult because there's not a lot of females on this side of things. So it poses a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, and I imagine too, if you're trying to reach the mainstream audience, obviously the pop thing is for females is very sexualized and everything. As a Christian, you're bound by different kind of conditions there.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, it's not easy. Like, you try to balance, okay, I'm still a girl, so I like to look nice, but then I have to be modest. But then my music is pretty current when you listen to the styling of it.
Yeah.
So then my image, and I have a background, I have a master's in marketing and public relations, so of course I understand the beauty of branding. I'm like, I can't come out there in no church robe, and my music's like, you know, like, so like everything has to match up, and this is just how I am, period. And so it was just like, just understanding balance. And so that's why I'm very intentional with my relationships with the guys. And and my husband's very present. Usually he's with the exception of the tour, he's my road manager for the most part, and so all the guys know him, so I'm like a sister to all the guys. So it's a beautiful relationship.
Cool. And I guess tell people where to find you online and the name of your project if they want to hear.
I mean, that, like, I'm an independent artist, like, I have a distribution deal with Infinity for this album, and I have an album called Culture Shock that I put out August 2nd, and I'm very proud of it. It charted on billboards. I did this from my living room. I stepped out on faith and said, I'm just gonna do it, and God's blessed it, and so get it. It's on iTunes, it's on Amazon, it's at Family Christian Bookstores, it's at Lifeway. But the quickest way is just to download it now. Go to iTunes and look up JAI, and the album's called Culture Shock, and my website is www.justjai.com.
Cool.